I usually do them for about an hour. And as I've stated, the new people have joined the chat. I'm waiting on Chris Rudd. He's one of the, he's Billy's protege. Here we go. Here's Chris. I guess he can't get on. Hello. What's the deal? Okay. Well, Chris is working on his plugin or something. I don't know. You got to do it from the Google Plus page, I think. It's called At the Bench. From the main page, there'll be a section. It's all by itself called At the Bench. It's the same link. So if you open that up, you open that orange link up and then follow it down. There'll be a link under that, and you just click that and come on in. So I would say log out of there and re-click it. There we go. So I would say log out of there and there we go. We got you.
Can you guys hear me good? Can you hear me good?
Oh yeah, perfect. You gotta turn your mic off. I'm hearing.
Can you guys hear me good? I have like a weird. Oh wait, hold on. Sorry, there we go. I had the YouTube video playing, so it was looping everything.
All right. Well, let's see what you got. Let's see what you got there in the background.
This is the plane that hit the bird at the Nationals.
Same as my airplane here.
Yeah, I stripped it out. I stripped it last week, and I'm just getting ready to refinish it. I have been repairing. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah.
I've been there was a crack here, and I put some glass cloth on it and repaired that crack, and just put some super fill over it. Doing the same thing up here in the nose, and that's pretty much it. I mean, I got to rebuild a new cowl, and I'm putting a whole new bottom block into it because when I stripped it, the mold just went. It pretty much just crunched itself up. So as soon as you're done with them, I'm gonna mold another one. What else have I been working on? I've been doing these lost foam stabs.
How much do they weigh?
This stab right now here, like 7/10 of an ounce.
And that's lost foam?
Yeah, it's fully sheeted. So, I mean, I don't know how many grams that is. How many grams is that? I know you've been
about 20.
Yeah, I know you've been wearing them. Yeah. Yeah, it's exactly 20 grams.
And I'm good, huh?
Yeah, so I've been just doing it out of one piece of foam that I just made my airfoil, just cut it out of regular foam. And then one half, since you only have to build one panel at a time because they're symmetrical, I just cut the other half as the actual blocks and just mold a whole big sheet at one time all the way across it. And then I build it just like a wing. It's got 2 1/8-inch, top and bottom spars, and then a 1/8-inch trailing edge piece that's on the center line, and then a piece of 1/8 inch that's capped onto that. So it's a 1/4 of an inch thick where the hinges go, but then only an 1/8 inch thick around that. That makes sense.
You know what's going to make you sick?
What?
You're going to do all that work. It's still going to be 2 1/4, 2.5 ounces, and you could have done it lighter in one solid piece.
Well, I don't know about that.
I do. I'll bet it. I'll bet on it. I mean, I thought the same thing, you know, we got to build these up, but I'm not going to do that anymore.
Well, what?
Go ahead.
It's already going to be about 1/4 of an ounce lighter than the last stab that's on the take apart here.
Right.
And that's all silk span. You know, just built just like the Geo plans. So it should.
You know that XL that's on the rudder is too big, right?
Well, I like it really big like that. It bleeds over.
You know,
The style thing.
Show me your rudder again, because I want to see that. Let me turn on your camera here. So you brought it up, okay.
It's pretty identical to the PDF I sent you. Here, I'm going to get to a better spot.
Yeah, well, the PDF I had to redo. The stuff is the same size.
Yeah.
But I wasn't gonna, you know, copy your
Paint job, exactly.
right. And I didn't copy your letters either. I used the bada boom.
Bada boom.
Yeah, letters. And so that's different. And back here we're gonna have USA 1 or USA,
Okay.
USA like that. One thing that I did want to know though is I'm gonna do the red stripe that you have started here.
Okay, yep.
And it goes back here. How far out does it start on the leading edge?
Hold on, I'll measure it.
And then the next line over too.
Trying to see if I got something we can set the airplane down so people can actually see it. That's a bad idea.
And don't hurt it.
I guess I'll just hold it. Can they see both of us or no?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So from the fuse, it's 2 1/8.
Wait a minute. Let me get a clean piece of paper. Crap. Hold on.
Hey Sparky, how I did it?
Wait a minute.
Is I just okay.
You see, mine are going to be white. A white stripe with black checkers. I have that same pattern, but I need to know where to start the white at.
Well, how I did it, Sparky, is I took it by the nose. I put the piece of tape here.
Right.
And I just stretched it to where I wanted it on the elevator.
Okay.
And your nose is longer, so you might want to do it that way versus going off of mine, because I don't think it really matters how far out you go. I just went from the very tip of the back plate of the spinner.
E-L-E-V. Can't even spell tonight. Okay, nose to elevator, and then is that gray that you have on there? Is that just DC 540 cleared over?
No, it's
Polar gray?
No, it's darker. It's one shade darker. It's called.
That doesn't matter. I'm not going to use gray. So
yeah, it's neutral. It's called neutral gray. It's a Randolph product. Everything's Randolph, like you.
Right. No, I'm not going to use gray. So I'm going to use yellow.
Okay.
Where your gray stripe kind of takes a jog, that's going to be yellow.
Okay.
And then I'll have a red stripe, and behind the canopy is going to be black. And the blue that I'm going to use is going to be the blue like this, a royal blue.
Okay. Yeah, I think on the other, this one, the one piece that I'm repainting had a darker blue that I like better. That
Uh,
was the only color I switched on between the two. Because I thought this was too baby, too light.
and those black checkerboards on the leading edge, how did you do that? You just measured and taped them off, right?
Yeah, I actually just measured off the first checker here and just ran it out straight, and on it, I just eyeballed it, and it came out pretty stinking close.
Okay.
And then all I did is I just set points, and I just did everything off of the fuse because of the differential panels.
Show me where that balance is at.
Oh, geez.
Just hold it up and yeah. Turn it a little bit more so I can see your finger.
It's right on the spar.
Okay, I'll show you where mine balances.
It's actually it's a little after the spar. I'll measure it here. I have those pins in it, so it balances right on the pin, so I'll just measure from them.
Got the lead outs pretty far back too.
Yeah, well, they aren't that far back. It's actually I made the lead out guide too far forward, so everything looks farther back. But I'll measure it and tell you what they are. Built. It's actually even farther forward than the yellow one. You could start at probably 7 1/4.
See where mine balances right there?
Not really.
How about now?
Yeah, you're a little more tail heavy than I am. Yeah.
I'm more nose heavy.
Oh, nose heavy, yeah. Well, you'll get more weight as you paint, right?
Well, I hope not. I'm at 54 1/4 ounces now.
Yeah. Well, this one's 60, so it flies really good, but it's because it's a take apart. You'll be all right.
But you got to remember, I'm not running a pipe motor. I'm running a Super Tiger, so I want light.
Yeah.
My motor is shoved back, 3/4 of an inch. I'm gonna try to come in around 56 or 57. So it's not gonna be a real, front row killer, but it'll be nice looking.
Yeah.
Because I really like the way yours flew.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I've been practicing a lot. I've made a few changes, since I've actually got some time on it where I could actually think instead of, being at the gnats. So I've been doing a lot of little test trims and stuff, messing with props, and I think I'm in a better space now than I was actually at the gnats.
I took some spackle and spackled those big dents that were in this mold here, and I also put
that product on it.
Minwax crap. So they're pretty slick. There's some dents right there. They got beat up. I didn't do it.
No, I know. I don't really, as long as they're not big craters where the wood's going to actually go into it, it's normally not an issue.
I thought about cutting this piece off.
What piece?
The front.
The end?
Yeah. What do you do with it?
Why did I do it?
Yeah.
Because I was gonna mold the cowl, and I decided not to at the end.
Yeah.
I was gonna try to mold it up till right in front of the block, but I said, what, screw that.
Well, I'm trying to figure out how to ship these because the boxes that I have are not long enough. So I was gonna tape them together, bubble wrap them, and try to protect them that way and ship them out. I got to send them by U.S. mail. UPS would probably be $25 to send them.
Yeah. One of the things that I was doing that worked really good when I was shipping those P-47 wings, I shipped them all the way to Italy and Canada and didn't have any issue through U.S. mail, is I go to Home Depot and they have the double corrugated boxes that are like for large packing boxes. and just fold it inside out, and you can just wrap it around whatever you need, and it's super, super tough. And they're like $5 for one. Might be.
I'll mold up another bottom and a top block here in next day or so, and maybe tomorrow. I don't know. But
I only need the bottom block. I don't need a top.
Well,
I just need the bottom because of this airplane. I'm gonna do another Junar, but I gotta build the wing yet. So if you just do what you need to do and then ship it, I just like to get this. My goal is to try to finish this by October, so I can drive it out to Bill's and just give it to Bill for. He's gonna be testing the 75, and he doesn't have the. This is the wing we want to kind of keep using, and he doesn't have one. So I want to get him this airplane to test it with the 75.
he's gonna grind up your nose because the 75 won't fit in there.
Well, yeah, I mean, we'll have to grind out the pads, but he's got it in he's got it in one of the USA ones, and it's been working. So, and it's got the same mounting for a PA65, so he'll make it work. He'll get it all in there.
Well, I know Billy's got his shit together. He can make it work. But,
Yeah.
Did you like my wheel doors?
They're pretty aggressive looking. They kind of have a classic Galaxy look to it. Not the Galaxy, the airplane, but it seems spacious, like you'd see in space.
I like this design. I mean, it's classic Werwage. You can just, I mean, that's what I said at the beginning of this. I said you and him work together. But if you can't see Billy in this,
yeah. No, I mean it's very Billy driven. I just basically took the Junar plans and tried to make it a little more modern, but I wanted it to still have I love the way the wings looked with those heavy trailing edge radius on the tips. So I tried not to change any of that. And then the top, the rudder's kind of different. It's besides that weird thing. I'm actually thinking about taking that off on this other one. The one
mine looks better, I think.
Yeah, show me it. I want to see it. Because the Billy's third Junar didn't have it on there. Yeah, that's nice and clean. Yeah, I think that'll be nice.
When I saw your airplane, I go, well, I like that airplane. We got to get rid of that ducktail. I mean, the one thing, I'd probably end up busting it off,
Yeah, I did pretty good. I only busted it off on the take apart the first day I had it. But it's all take apart, so I just took it off and refinished that, and that's one of the nice things. I'm gonna do one more one-piece finish, but after that I'm doing take aparts because they're so much easier to finish. Like anytime you dent them or anytime you do anything, and I mean I fly a lot, so being able to fix a hanger rash is nice.
Well, I mean I got no problem with fixing it. Myself, if it gets too rashed up, I just hang it on the wall and make another one. It's not worth fixing, I don't think. So I just put it back on the wall and make another one.
Yeah, I find that by the time I trim them out, I don't want them to go away anymore because it takes 200 flights to get it really right, and then it blows up, some freak accident or something.
I'll have this done. If you come down in September, you can fly it in a contest.
I'll fly I'm trying to make it down to Springfield or St. Louis, but I have a wedding the day before, so I have to figure out if I can do the haul down there after being at my cousin's wedding till 10. But
that little metal tab. I asked Billy about why every airplane that he builds has that little metal tab, and his explanation was pretty decent. The difference between me, you, and Billy, wing, is not flying level. I don't twist the flaps. I twist the wing. I bring it home and steam it straight.
Yeah.
So Billy said, well, after you twist the flaps, you can always, twist that little trim tab. Well, okay, what is that made out of?
It's just aluminum. I don't even know what gauge. It's just something that I bought at the hobby shop and that I knew would, be able to be bent once I glued it on. The main reason that we do it is because it's something that you can trim at the field really fast. So we'll have 3 different sizes when we start a new airplane, and all we do is loops for the first, 10 to 15 flights on half tanks. And all we're looking for is the same line tension everywhere. And all we do is worry about leveling the wings for probably 10 to 15 flights. And that tab gives us the ability to really make it right, because you can tweak the flaps the initial, get it close.
Not me.
But once we have I have a few different devices too. Let me find it here. So Bob McDonald makes 2 pretty cool little parts that we put in our airplanes. One of them is, I'll show this one. All it is a horn with a pin going through it and a piece of brass with a 632 screw on it. So you can just have a little hole in the side of your airplane and just pop that, and then the flaps will just do whatever you need them to do.
Right.
And you can retighten them. So we have those in them. So we're not tweaking, we're not bending the flaps. We're just tweaking the flaps.
Okay.
Between the elevator, or the flaps and the elevator, we have this that, because we have tune pipes, underneath the pipe is a little slit. And we tape over that so nothing gets in there. But it's just got 3 440 screws and a piece of aluminum. And so we can go in there and infinitely, we put mics on our elevators to change, the ratio of the elevators, and this piece of 3/32 just slides in there.
That's at the flap, right?
I'm sorry?
That's at the flap horn,
Yeah, this
right?
one's at the flap horn, and then this just goes to the elevator. It removes some of the weight out of the back end of it because you don't have a ball link back there.
Did you see the new bell crank?
I did.
Sure.
I heard it's heavy.
Yeah. Let me show you. It's an ounce. I mean,
What's it made out of that makes it an ounce? I mean, it's just a buck crank, right?
well, it's a Brent Buck bell crank with the end cut off here.
Okay.
You can see it. It has 2 bushings on it, but it looks like a 5/32 piece of piano wire, which you don't need. 1/8 inch would have been plenty. And then there's this steel thing for where the ball link goes on. I think it's just a little, the material is a little overkill.
Yeah. What Igor does on his system is he just has 2 holes in the steel, so you can get to a lighter gauge steel that's on that extra fork. And
Sure.
And what he does is he puts those 2 together, and then one is just a little stub, so that he has more surface area to glue to that other, or to solder to that other piece. That might be what he needs to do, is just go down to like an 1/8 inch rod, and then just to strengthen that up, just have the 2 holes. But Igor's, I think, are laser cut, or however you cut steel with. Maybe it's just CNC.
Water jet.
Yeah.
I'm going to try this. I mean,
It looks like it'll work. I mean, I know Bob Hunt was talking about it working, right?
right. I mean, the
It's a good
guy,
idea.
Joe Daly made this, and his airplane seemed to fly nice, and he was nice enough to send this to me, so I'm going to try it. But he said that he made another one that was lighter, so.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it'd be a really good idea. It gives you a nice, level to the horn. How do you mount it? You just glue it. You glue the bushings to the compression joiners.
I would, yeah. This has a cotter pin in it, and this comes off.
Oh, okay. That was what I was curious, how you got it together.
Yeah, and then this bronze bushing glues inside the compression joint, compression spar. And what makes it nice is you don't have to have a hole in the wing for the push rod. And the push rod stays straight. The push rod's
Yeah.
a straight run. So it's got to be, I mean, it's a killer idea.
I can't believe nobody has thought of that till now.
I was talking to Hunt. I go, you know, with my motorcycle and mechanical background, I don't know why I never thought of that, because
it's sometimes it's, if it ain't broken, why fix it? But you know, every once in a while you find something that works better. So that's a cool little machine there.
I'm going to try it, and if I like it, I'll make one out of aluminum. I'll go down to the machine shop and machine some parts out of aluminum on the mill, and lighten that all up. But I wanted you to see my Junar XL.
What color orange is that? Is that it's a pretty reddish orange.
It's I'll get the can. I'll tell you exactly what it is.
Is it Cruiser?
It doesn't say. It's E6428.
Okay, that's different than what I used. My next airplane's orange too. My next Junar's orange. Actually, this one's gonna be orange, but it's gonna be a base white with just some orange trim on it.
E6428. Well, you can pull up the Wix catalog, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's just a little darker. Can I share PDFs on this thing or no?
I don't know. I don't know much about this. The train guys are the guys that got me set up with this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, YouTube Modelers Association. I showed them Wendy's layout, and they go, "Wow, he likes motorcycles too." Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how to. Yeah, maybe I don't know if I can here.
Send it to my email.
Yeah, I'll just share the new one, how it's gonna look. But yeah, I'm gonna paint 3 airplanes. I'm building 2. Yeah, I'm gonna do a take apart Tempest, which will be kind of like my Typhoons, but with a different flap and tips. It'll have the same wing as this airplane here. Did I lose you, or can you guys still see me? Can you still see me?
Oh yeah, you're fine.
I'm not at that anymore here.
If you ever seize up, all you have to do is press Control R.
Okay.
And that'll refresh your browser. But yeah, you're fine still.
Did that go? I don't think it went. No. Oh, here we go. I think I can do it this way.
Orange take apart PDF. Let's see.
Oh, here, go to that next, the drive one link I just sent you. Try that one.
Okay.
See if that will pull up on your screen.
You need permission, it says.
Oh, well, I give you permission, but I don't know if that does any good.
Okay, I requested access. And now you gotta approve it.
Try now.
Okay. Except I don't know where we are here. Yep. Oh yeah.
I don't know if you can get that on the screen for them, but probably not.
That's very nice. I
Yeah.
like.
So that's what, and here I'll send you one more. This is the what I'm thinking about doing for the other one. So I'm going to do one more. That'll be like the last 2 Junars were identical twins. Now this one won't be quite identical. Let me see if I can get ahead of this thing and give you access early. I don't know how to do that. Why don't you request access again and I'll give it to you. Oh wait, here we go. Try that one.
I don't like that one as well. I mean, it's nice, but did you outline the XL with ink or something?
Yeah, yeah. I didn't do that on the rudder one. I did it on the wing one. I think it's absolutely necessary. It goes away too much if you don't.
Right.
And I used the thickest pen I had, which I think is like a 1.2 or something. Wasn't easy. Those templates, when well, you might as well just make your own. I do have some, 1/64 templates that I cut, but they need to be redone. They're not that good.
I'll make it out of that plastic.
Yeah.
I make it out of that clear plastic and then put tape behind it. I mean, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, it's the same. I just do it out of plywood because I find that it's easier to cut it on the jigsaw. But I haven't tried the plastic, so the plastic's probably just as easy or easier.
Yeah, it takes me about 10 minutes to make. Yeah. I like the layout of the, where you got one color here and then another color there. And I thought about doing that, but I don't know. I might do something like that.
This is pretty much a straight ripoff of one of Billy's airplanes. That I honestly thought this was the Junar I was picking up when I drove out there to get the yellow one, because it's a different colored yellow one. But I'll send these all to you too.
How are you sending it over this?
In the chat thing, there's a little Google Drive emblem.
What Google Drive? A link, you mean?
It's that triangle at the bottom of the chat window.
Right.
And you click that, and you can upload to it.
Oh, okay. Did you send it? You sent me another link?
Well, I'm sending you 3 JPEGs, but it's taking a little bit.
Okay. This is kind of cool, though. I wish I could get more people involved and get them in here. But it might catch on. I'm going to start doing this every Monday night at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
I know today's Tuesday or whatever it is, but I did one last night, and I had a guy from Colorado come in, and we talked for about an hour. Here we go. Yeah, we got lots of them here.
So Billy won concourse with this one, and I kind of took it and added some of the things that I really liked about this last paint job to it. Like the Falcon and things like that. Here, I'm going to give you access again.
And I'm going to ask access for the next one down too.
Yeah, I wish that I could just give you access to all of them.
Yeah, and I got to do it one more time.
This one has a similar rudder to what you're doing.
Okay, let's see, it's 1, 2, 3. We'll do the first one. 94 Junar. I think, oh yeah. I remember that airplane. He won the concourse for that one?
Yeah.
File, save as. Save. And we'll do the next one. That's 1, 2, and do that one.
Yeah, it's canopy and then rudder details. I think Kirk Contrada sent me all these, I think. I know John Liddell, a few people sent me them. I don't remember who sent these specific ones, but I do have a few other pictures as well. But these are the clearest.
I want to know how Billy can build an airplane that looks like that and it come out at 52 ounces or whatever.
Well, I mean, a lot of things. I mean, you got to remember that was a 40 in there. I mean, the Razor, yeah, is 54 and a half, but like the plane that he was building, his current airplane's not going to be any lighter than what I just did. You know, we weighed all the parts and everything, and you know, he's finishing exactly the way I'm finishing. So I don't think the wood is as good as as he used to get. I think that there's, you know, other things, but he says he's aiming for around 56, 57, which is what my one piece came out last year.
So that's what this is going to weigh. So
yeah,
but I'm not running a pipe. I'm running a Tiger. It took 5 fluid ounces of orange to do the orange on here.
Did you have a base coat or no?
No.
Yeah.
I didn't. I left off the DC 540 this time. You know, I just didn't go crazy with DC 540. I wasn't going to do it at all. What I did, I started it. I got it all cleared up, and I got the Brodak primer, and I kind of, you know, brushed it into certain spots and sanded that all out. And I go, you know what? This is a lot of work, and I got to wait 2 or 3 days for this shit to dry. This is bullshit. So I went and got some DC 540.
Yeah.
I got 3 cans on here, but it's all sanded off.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I remember. I think it was a plane before this one. I couldn't get the. I don't remember if it was the carbon or the silk span. It was one of the two. I couldn't get the fill right, and so I just finally just caked it all on. I just coated probably like 7 cans of DC 540. It was that foam one. I just coated it, and I just sat there and sanded it all off, and it was perfect. And it didn't weigh anymore. You know, it was a lot of work, but you know, I don't know. I probably will always use DC 540 because to me it's so cheap. You know, $3 for a can that you can do almost an entire one coat on an airplane. You know, that's pretty incredible. And then to be able to sand it all off, I mean, that's nuts. I mean, I probably put 2 coats per complete airplane or 2 cans, but still, that's way cheaper than, you know, a $50 gallon of thinner. So.
Yeah, I mean, when I did Tom Morris's airplanes, I was using 6 and 7 cans. But
yeah.
you got to start with good woodwork. I got some over there. I got 4 more airplanes to paint. You got to start with good woodwork, so it doesn't take that much material. And like this here, I used 3 cans, or 2 and 2 and 2 and a half. 2 3/4 cans, but it's all sanded back off. You know, I did all the. I didn't do any of the wood up here. It was basically just on a fuselage that I straightened that all up. But I'm basically happy with how it's coming out. At the spar, here's my fingers at the spar. Let me my fingers are at the spar for balance. Now watch what it does.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I can load the paint on, but I don't want to. You know, I want light.
Yeah, yeah.
If I'd have known it was going to be that nose heavy, I'd have moved the engine back another 1/4 or 1/2 inch.
Well, by the time you put some clear on, I think it'll probably work out. What's that engine weigh?
Super Tiger's about 12 and a half.
Oh wow, yeah, that's way heavier than I'm at 10 3/4. Because I got a lightened PA. I mean, we grind the heads down. We do a bunch of work to them. I think that's where the difference is.
Yeah, these are close to 13 ounces.
Yeah, ours are at I think it's like 10.8 or something. I mean, that's just like needle valve and just the motor and nothing else, you know.
My airplane painted, like I was telling you, the engine and tank weighs 18.6 ounces.
Wow. I mean, your plane's probably lighter than mine was because I got almost 1.5 ounces lighter engine. My tank weighs nothing because it's carbon. You know, it's so light.
Well, I'd rather have it nose heavy to take off with.
Yeah.
And then I can you know, this spinner, you guys are using a plastic spinner?
I have a carbon spinner I get from Hobby King for $12.
Give me the part, send me the part number.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'll show you here. They weigh nothing. Jim Lee has to make the components because it comes all in metric and everything, and so he drills out the. I just send it to him. It ends up costing about $30 or something by the time you're done, which is about the price of an aluminum spinner anyway. But they're beautiful little boogers, and you can paint them, which is nice. You just sand it with some 6,000 or something, or 600, and rough it up a bit.
Hey, look, I think I got one of them. What's on the back plate? How's the back plate?
It's just a carbon back plate. You gotta. What we do is we glue some sand, like drywall sandpaper. The really yeah, it's like it looks the same.
It's got a back plate like that. This is a bigger one. I think this is a 2 1/4.
Yeah, this is 2. All my Typhoons are 2 1/2, and they have these on there. It's the only way I can keep it light enough. I mean, it's at least a ½ ounce difference.
I think the next one I build, I'm going to use this spinner on. I know it looks like crap, but this is a
magnesium.
Yeah, magnesium 1 3/4, and it doesn't weigh nothing. Let's see here. Well, here's one of them spinners.
Yeah, that looks pretty similar.
It's a. Let's see what it weighs. I mean, I got choices. I can always lighten it up if it's too nose heavy. At 0.6 ounces. And this spinner that I got on here now, it weighs.
Yeah, mine's 0.64.
Let's see if we got a nose going for it.
This doesn't have the there's no prop stuff cut out for it. So.
This is my spinner box. A Randy spinner weighs 1 5 1 1/4. That's about 1 1/2 ounces.
Yeah. Well, that's yeah. I think it was a ½ ounce difference by the time you put the nut on there and stuff. Yeah, he just makes a 5/16 nut with a number 8. I think that we just put into the end of it.
But I got these spinners, and I got from Doug Moon, but they don't run true. These are the lightest you can get.
Oh yeah.
0.35.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's really light. Yeah, I've had good luck with them. They're definitely not quite as true as an aluminum, but I haven't noticed it being any issue.
Well, one thing I didn't like is I don't like that the nut goes in the end.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I probably have 600 flights on 4 or 5 of those spinners, and I've never had them ever come off or anything. I don't know if you heard me, but what we do is we glue, we cut a piece of, that mesh that you use for sanding drywall.
Yeah.
All we do is we cut a circle out and we glue it to the back plate of these because there's no grip.
Oh, I see.
Just enough that it, gives you what you need.
You could use a piece of 80 grit sandpaper.
Yeah, that would work too. We did with that that drywall stuff works really well. We actually put them on the front of the props too.
Well, I'm not going to change this out, but at least I know what you're using, and I can change it out if I'm too nose heavy.
Yeah, you could find one of those PA65s that are, those mysterious PA65s that are floating around. They don't exist. They're gone. I think Randy's going to do a 67 at some point, or a 68 or something, but it probably is going to be in the same case as the 75, so why would you not just get a 75.
You're running 75s, right?
I haven't yet. I don't have one. I have one coming in that order.
Now you can thank me for that because they weren't going to get done until I hammered Henry at Rodax. I said, man, we got to do something here.
For what?
I'm the guy that got the ball rolling on those 75s.
Oh, good.
I talked to Henry at Rodax and I said, hey, what do we need? He said, about 20 grand. I said, okay, we'll get it.
Yeah. Well, good. Yeah, Billy's been testing it, and he really, really likes it. He's probably got 10 gallons through it. He's got about 50 different props on it. So.
Yeah, but he doesn't have a new one because the new ones ain't even started yet.
No, he never even took his out of the box.
Oh, okay.
So his is brand new now. Because he was running the 61s until 2010, and then he started goofing around with them, the 65 slowly because he had 2 of them, and that's what we got really working well over the last 2 years, and now we're moving on to the 75s. I mean, I don't know, they're an ounce heavier. The 75s are an ounce heavier, but they give you a lot more power. So
yeah, okay.
So I'm probably gonna do it. The 2 of the airplanes I'm building will take it. Well, actually, all 3 of them will, but I don't think I'm building an almost identical replica of the yellow one that I flew at the team trials because I want, with the thin tips, the USA 1 wing, because I want to know, how much different these new wings that we've been doing are. And I just want to base 0 because we can't put anything bigger than a little 61 in the yellow one because the gears are like this long. Right. So I'm building something that we can put longer gears on that's new, but I've got all the measurements from Bill, so it's going to be identical to that. It's just going to be a base plate of like 0,
And that's the original Junar, right?
Yeah, that's the original one. It's actually been refinished, I think, twice before that.
That's got the small tail.
Yeah, it's got the small tail. Yep.
The small tail that I built was only 1 3/4 ounces with hinges and horns.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's really good. But when I was talking to Billy at the Nats, I told him I was going to build these, and I said, well, what are you going to do? And he said, well, I'm going to build one, but I'm going to use the big tail. So that's why I built 4 elevator stabilizers for this thing.
Yeah.
I got them sitting up there. I built some of those ones that are, covered with silk span. First off, they don't look good, and I just don't think they're that durable. And then I built this and made the elevators and built up the elevators and stabilizer. I ended up throwing those out and just used solid pieces of wood. They were lighter. Hmm. This is a built up stab because it's thick. It's 5/8 of an inch thick. And then the elevators are 1/2 inch.
Yeah, this is 5/8. I'm building all 5/8 stabs now.
Right. Have you tried my hinges?
No, because mine gotta come out.
Come out of what?
My flaps and elevator have to come out.
So?
Well, I don't know how you're gonna do. Yours are like embedded in the airplane. How am I gonna put it in?
With a wire all the way from one end to the other.
I know, but how do you guide it? That's the biggest thing that I haven't figured out.
Not a problem. I could figure that out in a heartbeat. Just a small trough, and then one, it would go all the way from the wingtip all the way to the center. So you'd have a piece of wire that long, and it don't weigh nothing.
No, that's what I do. I have a wire that goes all the way through, but I have to create little pieces of forked wood to guide it to the hinge. I have a 16th inch trough that goes all the way down, and it never hits it at the right point.
If you did them with my hinges, you'd have to make it with the groove inside the elevator or the flap.
Yeah, mine are inside the elevator and the flap. What I do is I take it and I put it on my drill press, and I have like just a rotating Dremel wheel. That's a 16th, and I just run it across there, and it makes a perfect trough in the elevator, not the stab.
Have you tried the recessed thing that I'm doing here?
No, not yet.
This is really cool too.
Will you route out the backside of it?
Yeah, you route out this side, you round this side, and it fits in the pocket, and that way there's zero gap at any one time.
How do you route out the stab?
Put a little Dremel router. I use a 1/4 inch, and you set it up
for it.
Huh?
How do you mount it? You do it by hand?
Yeah, I just run it through the router table. I have a little.
Oh, okay, you have a router table. Okay.
Okay, Dremel router table. I run it through this way, and then turn it over, and run it through the other way, so it's right in the center. And then I take a 1/4 inch dowel, and a 3-inch dowel, and sand it, and it's perfect when it's done. So it's centered. And then when you sand your elevator, just it's right in there.
Yeah, that's nice.
And that's how I'm doing all my hinges and flaps, and that's how these are done.
Bob McDonald, I think, did that on a couple of his.
Well, we always thought that it would bind up, under load, but it doesn't.
Oh, yeah.
You know how when the wing warps under hard G, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
I look at how much deflection that I have, how much up and down I have. I bet that we don't use, when you're flying, any more than that. Very little.
Yeah, I videotaped it once. It's a little bit more than that, but not much.
I mean, when you go like that, you think you're going like that, but it ain't really, it's not going all the way.
No, they never go all the way. No, on the one behind me, I moved, instead of doing it at 9/10 of an inch for the pivot point on the crank, I did it at 1 16 because I was trying to do something else with the controls, and it works fine, but my spacing on my handle had to end up being like that far from center. It worked out, but
I'm only drilling my belt cranks at 3/4.
Yeah, I go a little bit farther than that. I do 9/10 now.
So I was doing 15/16, which is more than 9/10, but they're just too sensitive, So I moved it back to 3/4. That's on 1 1/4 horn. Are you using 1 1/2 or 1 1/4?
1 1/4.
Yeah.
I mean, I fly really sensitive handles too. I mean, and for me to have to crunch it down is it was extreme.
Well, I'd rather have to open it up.
Yeah.
To handle.
Yeah, Bill, when we trimmed this one, I only had 2 flights before I ended up in Ohio, and we had 2 clips he flies a little more straight up than I do, like this, and I fly just a little down. So we have 1 clip that we leave on the handle, and we just keep flipping it back and forth. And by the time we were done, after about 50 flights, we both kind of looked at each other and said, "It's pretty good, but aren't you really tired?" And we both figured out that we were so tired because he had to be so concentrated because it was so, it was so quick. So we just kind of dumbed it down. But it wears you out if you don't.
Right.
Get it right. I think that's the main thing I'm trying to accomplish right now. I'm trying to make planes that don't wear me out. So
lighter airplane, more nose heavy.
Yeah.
It'll track straighter, and it won't take as much to get it to turn. That one airplane that Billy had, the one that I modeled my Thunderbolt after, the Lightning Bolt Thunderbolt he had, with a 22-inch tail. That thing was super tail heavy. You could tell when the engine quit, it just dropped the tail like crazy.
Well, he's been flying that in a USA 1 that's pretty similar to that one.
Mm-hmm.
It's a modern USA 1 with a Geobolt wing, and putting that PA 75 with 1 ounce of nose weight in it, he said it completely changes the 2 airplanes.
Right.
So.
Well, tell him to put the 15.5 propeller on that 75. That'll really change it.
Yeah.
But you know, that's what I had on my Thunderbolt was a 15.5 propeller, and that brought it to life. I mean, that you have all the thrust you could ever want out of an engine with that big old baseball bat propeller. It was that long. I mean, that's huge.
Was it a two blade, I assume?
Yeah, two blade. It's that Randy Smith volley.
Okay, yeah. We've been running 3 blades mostly lately. It really depends on the wing. With the for whatever reason, the GeoBolt and the GeoXL wings they're completely different animals, being that different chord length. I mean, everything that we were doing in one doesn't translate to the others. It's really interesting.
Well, the thing about this wing, I figured it out. This is over 700 squares.
Oh, it's a big wing.
But it's only 58-inch wingspan.
Yeah, my take apart is 61.5.
Yeah, what is it? What your other one there is? It 58 or yeah?
Yeah, this one flew better, and it's identical to the one you had. This one's per the plans. The other one, when I had Bob cut the wing, I forgot to tell him about the fuselage thickness.
Right.
And so because it's a take apart.
That sounds like this airplane I got hanging over my head here when I ended up finishing this because I forgot how wide the fuselage was. It's 66-inch wingspan.
Oh my gosh.
So that's why it never panned out.
Yeah. But the take apart fly is good. It turns a lot faster because it's got, that extra length of the tip really helps it turn, but it's not as easy to fly as the other one was. They were so close though. I mean, they were pretty identical.
When you come down to St. Louis, I want you to fly this one, maybe help me trim it, but I'll have it trimmed. It's, I don't go to the nth degree that you guys go, but
it'll be close.
Yeah. My airplanes are always, within reason.
Yeah, I don't think me and Billy ever stopped trimming an airplane. We're always tinkering. I mean, I just moved the lead outs again for the 4th time.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I'm always tinkering, trying to find that. Before the top 20 this last year, I had taken tip weight out and changed the flap ratio before the top 20.
I wish I would have known about the flap ratio, or McDonald makes those, huh?
Yeah. They're pretty nice.
I'll have to get me some.
I don't put them in the take aparts because I can get right to the horn to bend it. I'm not bending it over flaps or anything. But the one pieces, I didn't do it on this last one. I don't know why I didn't. I don't think I had one actually. I think was the reason. And I was too impatient to wait.
What does he charge?
He sells them for $30 or something.
Yeah. He's made me some propellers and some other stuff before. Jerry Phelps made me my last Billy props, and they were $50 a piece.
Well, he's got the molds for them, so if you want some, he can make them for you.
Weren't you going to make some propellers?
Yeah, we have been. Traxler and me have been working on them.
I got this I could send you, or you could pick up when you come down.
Oh yeah.
This is 12K.
Oh, that's good stuff. Yeah, so these are the props that I'm using right now. They're like they're modeled after the shape of a BY&O, but the airfoil is completely different. So these were blanks. Billy had a BY&O blank and modified it and sanded it. It's got a higher leading edge. The high point is moved really far forward on the blade.
Well, if you don't mind, I'll try one, but I don't know how good they're going to work on a Super Tiger.
Yeah, they're probably that's a Super Tiger 61 or 60. Yeah, these are going to be too big without a pipe, I think.
What pitch are they?
They're 4 1/4 here, and then 4.3 or 4 3/4 at the tips.
Yeah, see, the props that work the best on Super Tigers are 13.6 rev-ups.
Yeah.
And they're hard to come by.
Yeah.
But
we can make a mold of that, turn it into carbon, it'd be better.
I thought about that, but
if you want it, I mean, you know, I can probably talk to Traxler. We got a bunch of the material that we're making these molds out of, and we got a gallon of it. So, and we only got a year to use it. So, you know,
I'd like to have it, and I'll give you my toe. I got a box of chop too.
Yeah, that might be a good trade. We can make you one.
Let me see. Where did I throw the chop? I don't know, but I know I got a box of chop. 3 pounds of chop. That's a lot.
Yeah. So, trying to think of what else I could show you that I'm working on. I don't have much.
I'll tell you what.
I got some. Go ahead.
That airplane, the one like this that you got back there, you stripped off. I'd have never done that. I'd have wadded it up and threw it in the trash and built a new one.
Well, if it wasn't for the fact that I urethaned it, I would have just fixed the wings, you know. But with it being urethane, I knew there was no way I was saving it. And, you know, I thought about it, and I was like, either I'm going to throw it away and not use it, or I can strip everything off of it. I know that'll take like an evening. It only took me like 2 hours to strip all the wings off, and they came off so clean. It was amazing. I couldn't believe it, because I epoxy the whole airplane with finishing resin and wipe it off like you do, and it went right down to the finishing resin. And I literally could just grab the silk span and just peel the whole wing off, and it was perfectly straight. Nothing was wrong with it, and I was right. I had a new finished airplane, you know, and I was like, I might as well just do it. And then I started working on the fuse, and the fuse was a pain, but by that point I already had decided I was doing it.
You're not going to use any more carbon veil, are you?
I like carbon veil. I haven't had any issue with it.
Except that it takes too much filler, too much dope. You'd be lighter with double-aught silk span.
Well, the Razorback's all carbon.
What Razorback?
Billy's Razorback, the whole fuse is carbon.
It'd be lighter if it was Jap tissue or double-aught silk span.
Well, it probably would be, but it ain't. It's so easy to finish with carbon. It's crazy. So here's the tank. It's still got some fuel in it, or I'd weigh it. But these things are awesome. Kaz does a great job on them.
How much was that?
It was like $70 or $80 or something.
Yeah.
I don't do anything cheap.
Yeah, I bought those landing gear. I ended up selling them Walker, but those Yatsenko style plug-in landing gear.
Yeah, I got a set.
They were like 72,000 yen or some crazy thing, about $50.
Yeah, I'll grab them somewhere.
I didn't like them because of where they'd be right in the way of the lead outs.
Well, I'll have to find out where I put them, but I have them somewhere in here. I think they might be down on my drafting table. But if anybody needs pipes, I got pipes.
Are you making them or
Bill's making them?
Yeah.
We made Steve Hines made us an amazing oven. He took a smoker and rebuilt it. Basically just kept the element, but he rebuilt the thermostat and the timing and everything, so we can just punch in numbers and it just goes through a perfect bake cycle. So these pipes are like way better than the, and these are, I got a couple 65 that have carbon baffles on them because we had a little bit of carbon baffle material. So these are even lighter than the ones we used to make. We're not doing that for every one of them because it's a ton of work. They don't save that much weight, but I got 365 pipes that have carbon baffles in them. These are the same pipes that I ran at the Nats.
How much for a pipe?
110, I think, is what he wants for them. I'm just selling them for him because he doesn't have a computer. I'm not making anything on them. So we're actually only doing it so we can buy more material.
All right. Well, I'll get him some material.
Yeah, we needed some of that sock. We're running low on the sock, but we haven't decided because the pipe that I was running, we did out of that. It's a 50-50 carbon Kevlar, and it's like barely lighter, but it's red, so it matched my airplane.
I have you remember when Wendy was using super taggers on a pipe?
That was before my time.
I have one of the, I just don't have any money anymore. At one time I had 7 PAs. Now I have none. But I got a wraparound header for Super Tagger, and I was thinking about trying that again. I was going to put it in this, but I decided why.
Yeah. Well, here's some fun stuff. So this one I decided not to refinish.
Oh, you got the same thing I got.
Yeah. This is the one that the handle broke. Yep, look at that.
We got the same part.
I wonder if we could well, the other parts I don't know what we would do with them, but it's pretty funny.
What I was going to do with mine, I was going to make a plaque and glue it.
Yep.
And hang it on the wall.
This was glued to a piece of wood that was stuck to the wall, but I had a big wind one day and it just butt jointed, popped off. But that's pretty funny.
Not really. I hated losing this airplane.
Yeah.
This is the one that was modeled after Billy's. I don't know if you knew the story behind this, but in '04 I went to the Worlds and there was Billy flying those airplanes, and I saw that lightning bolt airplane.
Mm.
And I said, "Do you mind if I, take some measurements here?" And I took about 300 pictures. He said, "Why?" I said, "Well, I'm going to build me a couple of these." And then Hunt, they were talking under their breath, "Yeah, right. Who is this guy? He ain't going to be able to build them." And within 6 months, I had 2 of them.
Yeah.
When Paul gave me Airplane of the Year for '07 for this airplane in his book.
Yeah, I keep them all around to keep me humble.
Right.
Here's the other parts I still have.
I didn't save any of my wings. Ted Winterman's got my wings. He's hanging on the wall.
Yeah. This was my favorite paint scheme so far. But he's dead. He wasn't the best one, but from a distance, he was my favorite.
I don't know that you ever heard the story about the one Thunderbolt I lost in the top of the hourglass. Randy's flap glue, hinge glue?
Yeah.
Don't use it. Use epoxy. I was up in the hourglass and I had used Randy's hinge glue to glue hinges in. Top of the hourglass, top corner, made a real hard turn. The flap flew off. That thing rolled in on top of me.
Mm.
And so we're up overhead and it rolled in and it hit, I'd say, within 5 feet of me. And it was like slow motion. The airplane hit the ground and it kept right on going. And toothpicks and dust, how those Thunderbolts are built. out of nothing, flooded everywhere. It was, half an hour, 45 minutes cleaning the mess up.
Yeah. Yeah. I had mine on the hourglass, that orange one where the bell crank blew up. Like it just mushroomed out like a bullet in that bottom corner. And that plane went, it was foam, so it didn't implode, but man, that thing would have just imploded. But it hit so straight in, it didn't even break the prop.
Did it hurt the engine, push the crank back into the back plate?
I don't know. I never even looked at it. I just shipped it to Randy, and he rebuilt it. It's the one I flew this year at the Nats. It's my good motor. But, man, it hit straight into concrete. It didn't break the prop.
Well, that saved you $50.
Yeah. I would have rather have spent the $50.
Yeah, I know.
But I'm trying to think what else would be interesting to show you. I don't know. Everything else is pretty standard. I got a bunch of, I got some molds of stuff. That's about it. My place is a complete mess. I haven't been cleaning it like I usually do.
What do you think of my new shop?
Yeah, I wish I had a shop like that.
I got this, and then I paint in the other room. I just expanded it 2 rooms now. This is pretty nice.
Yeah.
Well, we've been talking now about an hour and a half. I'm done.
Yeah. How many people were watching? Did we get anybody to actually watch us?
We had about 7, I think, so far. I could tell you how many views. You go to, let's see here. We go here.
Does it tell us who's watching? If you're watching, why don't you just tell us so we know who you are?
Yeah, well, people are something else. I talked for 20 minutes straight waiting on you. Nobody would. I said, hey, you guys, click in and ask me a question. No.
Well, it took me a second to figure out how to do it, so. Yeah, well, sorry about that. I had a family thing I had to take care of.
Yeah, no problem.
But,
No, I can't see how many views yet. It won't see, tell me how many views till we hang up. My painting the orange has already 115 views.
wow.
And I just uploaded that today. I did that 45 minutes live stream when I painted the orange.
Oh, okay.
I did that in the other room.
Cool. Well, I guess the only last thing I got is, that's not even worth showing. I got all the formers ready for both of the 2 airplanes I'm building. I'm just waiting for wings to get here. Bob finished them this on Saturday, so they're going to get here. My wife and I will be cutting ribs for a week, sitting in bed watching movies and cutting ribs.
Well, at least you got somebody to help you cut ribs. I got to do everything by myself.
Yeah, she finds it soothing, she says. I mean, she doesn't, all she does is, I draw them, I hand them to her, she cuts around the big outside of them, and that's all she does. But it's, it's nice.
We finish it up, tape it to the blank, and sand it up. That's what I tell her.
No, she doesn't do anything like that. My daughter's starting to sand stuff. I just give her chunks of wood, and she has I have a little ruler that I just have 2 different grits of sandpaper on, and she just takes a little piece of wood and just sands it. She's 2, it's pretty funny. I just bought her a little Harbor Freight, hammer. So I just start a few nails for her. She just pounds them in. I'm waiting for her to clock her thumb, but it hasn't happened yet.
That's a pretty cool hammer, really.
Yeah, it works pretty good. If you ever need to, I don't know, do something.
Well, I got a little Craftsman, but that one looks pretty good.
Yeah, I think it was $2. Me and Bill bought them in Muncie because I wanted to bring her home a gift. So we had to go to Harbor Freight for, I don't remember, something when we were there, and I bought her that little hammer. So.
Yeah, next time I'm at Harbor Freight, I'll have to get me one for my flight box.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that I found out you're using this spinner.
Yeah, you just go to Hobby King and you just type in 2-inch carbon spinner.
I got one right. I got one right here.
I'm telling everybody else.
Oh, okay. I wonder if it'll fit 13.6. That's the only problem.
I'll just ream it out a little bit.
Well, yeah. Oh,
This one looks like it's not as nice as this other one. Some of these, and I think you can actually, RSM, you know, Eric Rule's making these too, I think he's buying them and then just making them, but the only issue was they weren't 5/16. He only had them at, you know, a quarter inch.
Here's a prop you won't see way before your time. 11.6 EW. They don't make. I mean, they don't make any of this shit anymore, but you can't get those. Whenever I'm on eBay, I keep typing in rev up, and I got about a dozen 13.6s. But I think maybe if we could make a carbon one, I'd like to try it.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get enough people interested where we can make 7 or 8 of them, it'd be worth it.
Here's a 13.6. Yeah, it'll work. You have to have a different nut that you can.
Well, yeah, and you got that shaft extension too, so you got to work around that.
That's not a big deal.
You just got to. Is that one of Jim's? Yeah.
Same one I sent you, only for 1/4 inch instead of 5/16.
Well, that's only a 1/4 inch. That's really short.
No, 1/4 inch thread. You know.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I had both 3/4 made.
Okay.
And I had him make me one for the PA when I had him. Yeah. And I said, well, as long as you're making him, make one for Super Tiger, and I'm glad I did.
Yeah.
He does the nicest ones. They're a whole lot better than any Fox.
Oh, no, I mean, they weigh nothing. They're great.
I got Fox extensions up there, but they're nothing like this.
Yeah, no, he does good work. All right, well, I'm gonna go to bed.
All right, buddy. I'll keep you abreast. Remember, Monday night, 9 o'clock. Let's start getting a big crew together. I'm hoping to get more people involved online instead of just me and you or me and the other guy. I can have 10 in here.
Yeah. Well, maybe post a tutorial on how to get into it. I think that was even challenging for me, and I'm a pretty computer competent person.
Well, all you gotta do is click the link and accept the terms, and it should take.
For some reason, it had me install like a plugin or something. It said that you don't have the Hangout plugin. It's like, all right.
Oh, I guess I could post that. You have to be a Google Hangout member or whatever.
Yeah. You have to have a Gmail account.
I don't have a Gmail account.
Well, yeah, you do. YouTube and all those accounts are the same.
I don't have a Gmail account, though.
I bet you if you go to mail.gmail.com and you put in whatever you type into YouTube, it'll work.
Okay. Hey, one last thing before you go. What do you think is going to happen with this new ICANN thing that's going to take place in September?
ICANN?
ICANN, the Internet Naming. That we lose the Internet in September.
I don't know much about it. I know that not intimate domain. I mean,
the domain server.
Net neutrality, all that stuff.
No, we're turning the domain servers ICANN over to the United Nations in September. How stupid are we?
Yeah, that's not. I don't know. I don't know anything about it.
Well, if they want to shut us off, all they got to do is deny access to the IP.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not any good.
That was a retarded move, Obama.
Well, I'm not sure. A lot of things he's done has been real smart.
I'm hoping that last night I was watching the dark web, and there's ways around all this shit.
Yeah.
DC 540.
No, well, yeah, but this is the parts I haven't sanded yet. After I stripped it.
What do you use to strip it with?
Oh, it's just stuff from Ace. Just this clean strip premium. Next time I'm going to try the non-premium stuff and see if it does. This ate the fuselage parts of the mold. So I'm going to try the less potent stuff and see if it'll just take off it down to the carbon or something.
You could try just putting lacquer thinner on a rag.
Yeah.
And wrapping the fuselage with a lacquer rag.
Yeah, that would probably do it too. Actually, I know that would work because I've had enough lacquer spilt on stuff.
It eats that thinner eats the paint right away.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll talk to you later.
All right. I'm going to end the stream, and appreciate you coming in and bullshitting with me.
That was a good time.
I hope my airplane turns out as nice as yours.
I'm sure it will. We can get some of that nose weight out of it. I think it'll be in good shape.
Yeah, like I told you, it's really, I mean, if you say the balance is at the spar, I put it at the spar and let it go.
Well, measure back from it. I'm at 7 1/4 for the hinge line.
Let me get my foam thing to turn it over. It's right there. 7 1/4, you say, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Double check here. Yeah, give or take a 16th.
7 1/4 from the hinge line. So we got moving newer now. Shit. Here we go. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 1/4. Yeah, that's right at the spar for me. Right at the, and if I put my fingers there, right there, where yours is, can you see it?
Yeah.
It'd flip out of my hand. So I might have to get some of the weight off the nose, but I'll wait until I get the clear on it.
Yep. All right, Sparky. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, you have a good night.
Yeah, you too.
Bye now.